Good morning. Happy New Year, guys. All right. Um, Brad, how was your New Year's? Let's go around and share something we're grateful for today, and then I'm going to get rolling. This will be a quick little meeting. All right. So start off with you, Brad, and then we'll make our way around the horn.
Yeah, my New Year's was pretty interesting. A lot of family stuff going on, but I don't know, not too much to talk about here. But I celebrated Christmas with my auntie that came down from Vegas the other day. So that was a lot of fun. Got together with all my brothers and friends. I've moved in with, or we're all settled in with my grandma now. So I've been living with her, and then my other brothers are all in their new house. And It's been pretty good. Been cleaning up the house and whatnot, organizing everything, and getting everything sorted for the new year. It's been pretty good.
Good. All right, Kayla.
I am grateful that I leave for Hawaii tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. But I leave at like 5 a.m. So it's a little early, but it's okay. It's okay.
All right. Cool. Jordan.
Yo, good morning. Ah, man, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for a new division. I'm grateful. I'm
Woo!
grateful. I'm grateful. I'm
Awesome.
excited.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. All right. I'm grateful for my grandma had a second surgery yesterday, and that all went really good and smooth. So big sigh of relief right there. So now it's just a part of the recovery. And Jordan, I am also grateful for the new division. It was cool. Like yesterday, I was trying to check like stuff on my Vector Connect, and like it wasn't working. Like everything said access denied, and then I refreshed it, and it was like division coordinator. So super exciting for what's in store. At our staff meeting, we'll talk about a few things that we're going to be implementing when it comes to like standards and new flow. And I'll be talking with all of you guys individually about that today and tomorrow about some changes that we're going to be making. All right. But yeah, so this key staff meeting that we're going to be doing is going to be bi-weekly. Justin's on a plane right now, or was about to get on the plane, and then Luna and Lauren, they're Seventh Day Adventist, so that's something that everyone should be aware of. So on Fridays and Saturdays, sundown to sundown, they are unavailable. So I'm recording this for everybody, and let's dive in. All right. One thing that you'll see me kind of doing as I'm going throughout this, I'm going to be editing some slides because look, it still says SoCo on there. Delete. All right, but welcome to key staff meeting. All right, here's the thing that I want everybody to be mindful of for 2026 is setting your intentions. Okay, setting your intentions correctly. So as we go into meetings, as we go into interactions, conferences, whatever we're doing to like work on ourselves and work on the business, you want to make sure you come in setting your intentions the right way, right? And I want everybody to start adapting like a veteran thinking as you guys go into everything that you do. At this point in my career, I've been to, I think, 12 kickoff conferences, right? Who knows how many key staff meetings I've been a part of? Who knows how many leadership academies and team meetings and all these different types of things, right? So you have to start looking at all of these things a little bit differently because here's one thing I will tell you. When you show up with the right intention, you're always are going to get something out of it, right? Like I was even telling like Kayla and Jordan during training, I was like, oh, I actually took something from Jeremy's talk from like the training message, right? And we had a killer phone jam with our training group just because of those new things. But there's a lot of people that make themselves unavailable mentally when they go into things over and over and over again, right? So it's like if you don't show up the correct way, you're not going to get any value out of it. You're not going to get anything from whatever it is that you're doing. And if you do that enough times, guess what? You're going to stop showing up. You're going to stop growing. You're going to stop moving forward in the right direction. And then eventually, like, you'll fire yourself from the business, right? So that's just one thing I just want everybody to kind of be in the mindset of, even as we go into like this little key staff meeting here today. All right. Now, for anyone watching and everyone on, these key staff meetings are going to be bi-weekly. They'll typically be on a Friday. Just yesterday I had a lot going on with like the family stuff, but so I had to move it to today. But going forward, ideally I would like to try to keep these on Fridays. But if people like Saturday mornings, we can keep that. We'll kind of play it by ear, but bi-weekly. And the purpose of key staff isn't strictly just to focus on like your Cutco sales, but more about your leadership development. So for your notes, I want you guys to title it the 4 M's of influence. Okay? The 4 M's of influence. And this meeting will be pretty quick. These like key staff meetings are just little bite-sized meetings to feed your mind, all right? Feed the mind for the day. But the 4 M's of influence. And influence is something that I want everybody in on my key staff or assistant manager group to learn, right? To start to embrace it and try to figure out how they can be a bigger influence in our office, in our organization, in the division. Okay, so these are the 4 M's: model, motivate, mentor, and then model again. Okay, so model, motivate, mentor, model. So let's start with model. All right, people first influenced by what they see, positive or negative. Okay, so when this comes into, and a lot of this stuff I'm just going to relate back to our office, and you guys can relate this to a lot of different things, right? But it's like when someone comes into their first team meeting, right? This is like the team meeting is the biggest event of the week for the entire team and the office. And to be honest, it's the only event of the week for the team. Right? So when people are like miss the team meeting, just think about how much of an impact that actually makes on that representative's whole week. So this is why it's important to this is why as a key staff member, as a leader on our team, I expect you at those team meetings. It's not like we have a ton of them. Right? I still kind of toy with the idea of doing a team meeting on a Saturday as well, right? Like Jordan remembers that, growing up in the business, we had 2 team meetings a week. We had a Wednesday night team meeting, and then we had a Saturday morning team meeting in many cases. And if we did that, we would probably sell more. But I also don't choose not to do that because of quality of life, and I also believe everybody can get their ish together, right? But when someone comes into their first team meeting, anything they see, they're going to replicate, especially from the leaders at the top. So if we have our leader, right, let's say you're a top 5, top 10 in the office, and you're sitting there just chatting, not getting any work done, guess what others are going to want to do? They're going to want to sit, chat, get no work done. Even though some of you guys might have earned that right, where you're oh, I already got my schedule booked, I already have appointments ahead of me, they don't see the work that you did prior, right? So it's just you should just put in your plan when you're doing your power hour for the week is I'm going to actually get a lot of work done at the team meeting. I'm going to be locked in and focused during that time. And then we'll socialize after, which is why we have team nights and team hangouts and all those different types of things. But if we have brand new representatives coming in there and they're not taking the work seriously, or they're chit-chatting during the phone jam, it's they lose out. and that affects their income, that affects their experience with our company, and those are all things that are really important. But also, it works on the flip side, of the positive side. Imagine coming into a bustling office, Kayla. Everybody's on the phone, jamming. And this is your first team meeting. Guess what you're going to think? Like, oh, shoot, I need to hurry up and get on the phone and get some demos, right? People are high-fiving each other. People are fired up. People are greeting each other like, hey, welcome to the team. Nice to meet you. I'm Brad Williams, right? Like, how does that person going to feel? They're going to feel great. They're going to jump right into action, and it raises the bar. It raises the bar, raises the standard, and all that fun stuff. And then also, that person's more likely to replicate that. If they see, like, oh, all the leaders are greeting people and giving high fives and, hitting the money button, putting demos on the board. I want to do that too. So they're just going to naturally start to do it. Have you guys ever seen that video on social media where there's a bunch of people in a room, and every time they hear a ding, everybody stands up, and they're actors at first, so they're doing it, and then real people start to come in, and they're sitting, and then everybody stands up, and they look around, so then they stand up too, and then slowly they start taking out the actors, and more real people come into the room, and every time that ding hits, everybody stands up. And naturally, and then by the end of the video, there's no actors in there, and these are all just like real random people, and they're still doing the stand-up thing with the ding, right? So that's something that's important, right? And the modeling phase right here starts at the top. It starts with our leaders, and then it's going to trickle down. More they know you, the greater the influence as well. So if you ever like wonder, how come nobody is like asking me questions? Like I was like on the newsletter for the week, or I was the top person, or whatever the case may be. I'm number one in the office. Well, it's like, do the people actually know a little bit about you? And also with our key staff group, like I want this group to be the group that's influencing the team. I want it to be less and less of me, given the team meeting talk. So like one thing I love is like when like Kayla or August, they want to go speak at the team meeting, or they want to do a section. Like Kayla did a killer section at our team meeting about like New Year's and goal planning and reflecting and throwing away the old year. That was money, Kayla. So it's like right there. Like the more like people know you and they know what you have to bring, and they see how you work, the more respect they're gonna give you, right? And then the more they're gonna want to replicate that. So I have a question for you guys. What kind of model are you? Go ahead and journal that. All right, write that down in your notes. What kind of model are you? And then how can you improve? All right, what kind of model are you? And how can you improve? And for anyone that's watching this recording, I want you guys to send that to me. Right, I want you guys to send me that and let me know like what kind of model you want to be, or that you think that you already are, and let me know how you can improve it. All right. Now let's go into the second M, which is motivate. Now, motivation is done on when communicated on an emotional level. All right. So when you motivate people, this comes 100% from like emotions. And the process does two things. One, it creates a bridge between you and them. And then two, it builds confidence and self-worth. So a lot of times, like a big reason why I have everyone share their hot news or share when they book demos in our team chat is it motivates some people that are out there. All right, there's some people that look at that chat, and let me rephrase this. The right people, when they look at that chat and they see other people having success, guess what they're thinking in their head? I want to get in that chat. I want to get some success for me. I should probably make some calls. Right? And then there's like people that see that, they're like, oh my gosh, Jordan is so lucky. Austin Robinson, Eddie, they're so lucky. Like, that could never happen for me. But that's why it's important for them to get a chance to know you, right? Because when they're comfortable with you and they get a chance to meet you and build a connection, they're a little bit more confident in reaching out to you on the side, right? Reaching out to you on the side and like, hey, Brad, what is working right now? Why are you killing it? Like, dude, you've had 3 sales in a row. What's going on? Right? And that's the type of culture we want to create in our office. I don't want people just saying wow. I want them asking how. I want to create that learner is earners mentality for our division. Right? And then when that person can tell that other person, hey, I had like 5 no sales too. Right? Plus I got those 3 big sales. Right? And that like starts to build confidence in the other person. Right? And that lets them kind of like start to be like, oh, okay, I can do this. And for you guys like that are on key staff and assistant managers, right? You got to make sure you're not just sharing all the stuff that works. You got to share like the path that it takes to get there too. So it's just like it's great to be like, oh yeah, you're gonna make all these sales, guys. But no. The reality is like you're gonna have no sales too, right? We've all had no sales. We've all had a bad demo. We've all had a no sales streak, but we've also all had some sort of success where you had like multiple sales in a row, or like 3, 4, 5, 6 sales in a row, or a big order that was like $1,000, $2,000. Like that's always like fantastic, right? But we want to be able to motivate people because it's going to build confidence with the other people around us and also for each other. This group right here, the reason why I put the key staff group together is I want to put our best people on the team together so this way they can work together and workshop ideas, push each other, lift each other up, build confidence. Which leads into the third M, which is our mentor phase. All right, which is our mentor phase. And there's no simple way to put this, but you just got to pour into people. Pour into people. That's how I've always been able to be a good mentor, is just like you just got to pour your life into other people, helping them achieve their potential. Like everybody on this call, you guys have so much upside potential. You don't even understand. Right? And that's why I continue to like work with people. That's why I continue to push, because I know there's so much more that's out there for you. But now it's like, okay, you know how like sometimes we'll have a convo, Kayla, and I build your confidence up. Who else can you do that same thing for on the team? Right? Is there somebody on the team you can just kind of take under your wing and you're like, you know what? Like I'm going to mold this person into the next assistant manager along my side. Right? And you want to know the best feeling in the world as a mentor is when you see somebody change for the better. When you see somebody change for the better. I think about like my original district manager, Charles. I was telling him this week, I was like, hey, I'm officially a division manager. And he's just like, dude, that is so freaking crazy. And one thing that like my manager did really well with me, he just kind of took me under his wing. Anytime he was going to the office, he's like, what are you doing? Oh, you're not doing anything? Come to the office. And I never understood why he always wanted me around, literally until like the last couple of years. It took me a decade to understand all the stuff my manager did for me. And do you think that was like worth his time? Worth his investment? Yeah. He created a division manager. And like he's going to be like a mentor and a figure in my life that I'll never forget, right? So it's like, who can you take under your wing, right? Who can you be there when they're down, when they feel like quitting, right? Sometimes you can be in the relatable situations like, hey, I've definitely thought about quitting a couple times too, right? You guys have all heard me say it. It's like, if you haven't wanted to quit this job, that means you weren't working hard enough. You weren't trying hard enough, right? You didn't have big enough goals, right? And that's what builds people up. So it's like when you get a chance to build people and see them change for the better, right? Like the stupidest thing, I still remember to this day, my manager was like, take out those stupid fake earrings, stop wearing red skinny jeans to the office, right? And like get a suit. It's like, I'm like, why? But now it makes sense, right? He's like, well, you're going to be a leader on our team. You're going to be an assistant manager, right? And he molded that character, and it's like the person that I was then is totally not the person I am now. So go to write down, who is your biggest mentor right now, or it throughout your life, right? Think about who your biggest mentor was. I actually messed up my 3Ms. I was like, that doesn't make sense. All right, but go ahead and write down your biggest mentor. It could be right now. It could be somebody that was a big mentor throughout your lifetime. Who's your biggest mentor? And then what I would write underneath it is why, and what's a lesson that you've learned from them. And it could be for a lot of reasons why this person is your mentor, right? Maybe there's something that they have and you would like, you know? I think about like Evan Keller. After my original manager, Evan Keller became my next mentor. And, you know, one thing that always like made Evan a great mentor is like, all right, he always seems like prepared. He's always dialed in. You know, I like that he prioritizes personal growth. You know, then and this is Evan before he had kids, right? And I was like, man, like he is just like a sharp speaker, he's a hard worker, all those different types of things. And the reason why Evan stayed a mentor for so long is like I got a chance to see him mold and grow and change and evolve, right, into this family man, right? And then it's like, oh well, I want to have a family, right? Like then I had my first kid. I'm like, well, the best family man that I know is Evan, right? And then so on and so forth like that, right? Maybe it could be somebody that you just see wake up every day and work hard. It could be a parent. Maybe it's a teacher. He always like knew how to lift up people and believe and inspire confidence in other people. Okay? And then the last M is multiply. All right, the last M is multiply. Now, this is the hardest M to achieve. Few people make it here. And when you do get here, it has a greater responsibility and it becomes a higher profile. So now, once you've gone through the first three, you've modeled somebody. Now you're motivating people. Now you've mentored somebody. Now can you get somebody else to do those exact same things? Can you get somebody else to become a model that then becomes a motivator, that then becomes a mentor? And then the top tier one here, Jordan, is like, this is what it's fun to think about as a district manager. Like, now can you multiply those, right? Can you multiply those people to do those same things, right? And that's how you build an incredible division. That's how you build an incredible district, right? Is when you're able to multiply, right? And the reason why few people make it here is they give up right around here in the mentor phase. Because do you guys think everybody that I've mentored has turned out successful? No, right? There's a lot of failures along the way, right? Where I'm like, man, I didn't do my best there. Or, man, that person just didn't see the bigger vision, that they were destined for more, that it was literally knocking on their doorstep, right? So there's a lot of, that's why it's like so important to keep working on yourself, right? Because the moment you stop working on yourself, you're going to start declining, and your faith, your confidence, your leadership, right? So a lot of people start to give up here, so they never make it to the multiply phase, because maybe the first person that they mentored didn't turn out as they thought they would. Then the second person didn't turn out as they thought they would, and they're like, screw this. I don't think I'm a great mentor, so I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna retreat. All right, but multiply is where it becomes great. So when I think about this, I think about what we're building for 2026. I think about how, like, we have a insane assistant manager staff now. Like, I'm trying to do all the numbers and put everybody into the right places, but I think we have like 8 or 9 assistant managers when me and Kayla were doing some numbers, which is exciting. But now it's like we need them all to, add value. We need them all to be motivating people, inspiring, modeling, and multiplying. Okay, and like some of you guys that are in the assistant manager chat, like there's not all your assistant managers are here right now, so it's like showing up is half of the battle, right? Like I posted in that video yesterday. I showed up to the office. I was only there at like 7:30, and there was nobody there. I was like, dude, it's so easy to beat most people. Most people just don't show up, and they miss out. Okay, so I'm gonna send this recording to everybody. We'll see who responds. But it's like now, like where our assistant manager staff is, it's like if you're not hanging, you're not doing your thing. It's like you're gonna get booted, because we have other people that want to become assistant managers as well, and that's gonna probably be some of the people that are watching this recording on key staff. They're gonna be like, oh, I wanna compete for that spot. So it's gonna get more competitive. It's gonna get more competitive in our team. But if we have a bunch of mentors, motivators, and models on our team, we're going to be one of the best teams this company has ever seen. And that's what I'm excited to build for. And then eventually we're going to have great branch managers, great district managers in our division. And I don't plan on being like, here's the hard part about being like a first couple year division manager. You start off at the bottom of the reports. So it's like before in the South, as a district manager, we were top 5. Top 10, right? Now, as a division manager, I start off at the bottom. It's just our office competing against all these built divisions. But I don't plan on being at the bottom super long. So hopefully you guys are all down to hop on the train. Because if you're not, the train will leave you. The train will leave, and I will boot people off the train. It's always been a dream of mine, is just throw somebody off a train like in those old Western movies. No, I'm just kidding. But that, I just want to let you guys know, like, I want to start with this group, all right? Watch the recording. Once you guys are done watching the recording, shoot me a message here on WhatsApp, and let's build 2026, people, all right? But that's it for today. Have great weekends. Have a great Saturday, great Sunday, and just be better, all right? Just be better, all right? Other than that, you guys are good to go. Adios.